Welcome back, my friends, to another video. I've got a very beautiful and wonderful relic to share with you today. This is a relic that contains the bones of all 12 apostles. So this is exosubus, and it does come with the paperwork, and I'll show you that paperwork in just a few minutes. First, I want to talk about each of the individual apostles that are in here and talk about their life and just a little bit of information, not too much. I don't want the video to go on too long, but I'm sure a lot of people know who the apostles are, but also there's probably quite a few people that have no idea who the apostles really were, besides what they're told in the Bible. So let's first break down, and we'll talk about St. Peter, of course, being the top, being the first pope, being the one that Jesus called himself to. Let's go ahead and start talking about St. Peter here. So St. Peter was born in Bethsaida. Peter was a Galilean fisherman. He was around 30 years old when he was called by Christ. And he witnessed miracles. He walked on water. He healed the sick. And that's in the Acts chapter 3, verse 6. After leading the early church, he was crucified upside down in Rome around 64 AD by Nero. He was aged 65 to 70 at the time. He wrote both 1 and 2 of Peter in the Bible. St. Andrew, Peter's brother from Bethsaida, was a disciple of John the Baptist before following Jesus at about 28 years old. He preached in Scythia and Greece, performing healings and conversions. He was crucified on an X-shaped cross at Patras around 60 AD. He was aged 60 to 70 years old. St. James the Greater was a son of Zebedee. He was a fisherman from Galilee, and he was about 30 years old when he was called. Witnesses to the transfiguration and the raising of Jairus' daughter. He evangelized in Spain and was beheaded by Herod Agrippa I around 44 AD. He was aged in his 40s. The first martyred apostle, that's what he was. None of his writings survive in Scripture. St. John the Evangelist, he was the brother of James, the youngest apostle, likely between the ages of 17 and 20 years old when called. He cared for Mary. He wrote the Gospel of John, John 1 and 3, and Revelation. He worked miracles through prayer and healing. He died peacefully in Ephesus around 100 AD. He was aged in his 90s. He is the only apostle not martyred. Now, what I really love about this too is I like to tell people that when Jesus died on the cross, the women were there, and there was one apostle, and that was John the Beloved. And it was with John the Beloved that he gave his mother, and he said, "Son, behold your mother." And he said, "Mother, behold your son," which is why, one of the reasons why we Catholics love Mary so much, and we take her as our mother, because this is what Jesus did. He was on the cross, and he gave us his mother. Son, behold thy mother. Mother, behold thy son. Exact same thing as it is today. She is my mother, and I am her son. So the next year is St. Philip. St. Philip was from Bethsaida. He was around 30 years old when he was called. He brought Nathanael to Jesus and later preached in Phrygia. Phrygia, I believe. Yep, Phrygia. Tradition says he healed the sick. He raised the ruler's wife from death. He was martyred by crucifixion in Hierapolis around 80 AD. He was in his 80s at that time. St. Bartholomew, which is Nathanael. He was from Cana in Galilee. He was between 25 and 30 when he was called. He preached in India and Armenia. He performed exorcisms and healings. He was flayed alive and beheaded for the faith around 68 AD. He was in his 60s. St. Matthew was a tax collector from Capernaum. He was called at about 30 years old. He authored the Gospel of Matthew. He preached in Ethiopia and Persia, and he performed healings and conversions. He was martyred by sword or spear around 60 AD. He was in his 60s at the time. St. Thomas, from Galilee, he was around 30 years old when he was called. He was known for doubting, then confessing, "My Lord and my God." He evangelized in India. He raised the dead and cured the sick. He was speared to death at Mylapore around 72 AD. He was in his 70s when he died. You know, it's beautiful when you think about it. When When we see Jesus on the altar as Catholics and the priest is lifting up the host, you know, he says those beautiful words of consecration. He lifts up the host. One of the prayers that I like to say is, I say just like Thomas, I say, my Lord and my God. And I say that 3 times typically. My Lord and my God. There is Jesus. It's beautiful. St. James the Less. He was a son of Alphaeus, and he was from Galilee. He was around 30 years old when he was called. He was the first bishop of Jerusalem and author of the Epistle of James. He miraculously healed many through prayer. He was martyred by stoning and clubbing around 62 AD. He was in his 60s when he died. St. Jude Thaddeus, he was the brother of James the Less. He was around 30 when he was called. He preached in Syria, Mesopotamia, and Persia. He healed the sick. He authored the Epistle of Jude. He was martyred with Simon the Zealot in Persia around 65 AD. He was in his 60s when he died. St. Simeon the Zealot from Cana or Galilee, a former Zealot revolutionary called around the age of 30. He preached in Egypt and Persia with Jude, working many miracles. He was martyred by being sawn in half or crucified around 65 AD, age 60s. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you just heard my breath get caught, but I just felt myself being sawn in half and it caught me. I don't think I've actually heard that on St. Simon the Zealot before, that he was sawed in half or he was crucified. I can imagine being crucified, but sawed in half, holy moly. Goodness, I'm going to have to look that one up. Okay, St. Matthias. I'm feeling my sides are hurting right now. My stomach hurts. I feel like I just got a saw stuck in my side. Oh my goodness, that actually viscerally hurt me. The last one here is St. Matthias, chosen to replace Judas Iscariot. He was from Judea. He was around 30 when he was chosen. He preached in Cappadocia and Ethiopia. He performed miracles and many conversions. He was martyred by stoning around 80 AD. He was in his 70s when he died. Very, very beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful relic. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here to give you a better idea of this. And I've got to be really careful. First off, this relic came with the seal. 2 of the threads are broken. And there's a 3rd thread that is very close to breaking off here. So I'm just being extremely careful. After this really needs to be put into a reliquary to protect it and protect the rest of that seal. I'm going to flip it over here and show you where I'm holding my finger here. So you can see right here, it is these 2 sides right there, right here, and right here, where the seal came apart here. So you can see right here. Okay, so the seal's broken here. And actually, when I was getting ready to take this video, sadly, another little piece, a piece fell off here. So I just rescued this relic. It just came in today, and you can see it fit right there. And like I said, that's getting very close right there to breaking off, so I've got to be extremely careful here. I certainly don't want the rest of this to come off here. Very, very fragile relic. But you can see right there, so it has a number on it. Turn this back around. Oh, that's upside down. And we'll just put this right here, just like this. I hate it whenever I see a seal like that break. Okay, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, number 550. 12 apostles. Beautiful. Okay. See right there the paperwork. I believe that's 1845 or 1865. I think 1845. Very beautiful raised seal. see if I can get some more light right over here. Just like that. Okay, now right there, this is what this Sturks, this cardinal, has in here. And on all of his relics, on all the wax, it says Pax Vobis, which I believe is peace be with you. I believe that's what that is. I'm going to get a message by someone say no, that is not what it means. But let's see here. Is that what it says here? Peace be with you. I think that's what it is. Yeah, peace be with you. Okay. All right. All right. Nice. All those beautiful saints right there. Exosubos. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So let me tell you about a little bit about who put this together. So Cardinal Ingilbertus Sturks was born in 1792, and he died in 1867. Let's see here. He's born in Ophram, Belgium, and he died in Mechelen, Belgium. He was appointed Archbishop in 1832, and he was created Cardinal in 1838 by Pope Gregory XVI. He was a major reformer and restorer of Catholic life in post-Napoleonic Belgium. Sturks oversaw seminaries, schools, and numerous pious foundations, including relic authentication and public devotion of promotion. He was known for issuing many authentic letters for relics, sealed with his archiepiscopal red seal bearing the motto Pax Vobis, peace be with you. Isn't that beautiful? Very, very beautiful. It says it's in a silver theca with a silver rim, and that's exactly what this relic looks like right here. It has a silver rim on it. It says, by the command of His Eminence, the Most Reverend Lord Cardinal Archbishop. It's signed by J. Van He, a secretary and chancellor of the Mechelen Archdiocese. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So very rare relic, a beautiful relic. I have 2 relics that contain the 12 apostles, but none of them have paperwork. So it's, I feel truly honored to have one now with paperwork that can be publicly displayed on these beautiful saint days. Now let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, I think I'm going to go over. I'm going to show you my pelican case. So today I went to a healing service, and I'm the relic guy. So I provide the relics. I bring the relics to the healing services, and people that are really struggling and going through difficulties in life. There's a priest that will pray over the people with relics, and I'll go over and I'll show you. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to move this camera over, and I'm going to show you what my box of relics look like. Okay, so I've got this open here, and you can see I've got quite a few relics. This is a beautiful one right here. And you can fit additional relics in here. What I found is Belgium relics tend to fit the best, and I can fit them in here depending on the type of person that we're working on, depending on what their needs are, and the different saints that will fit in here. Now this right now is kind of a mystery to me. This is a large relic that I rescued. This one came out of the Netherlands, and unfortunately, you can tell the name tags are pretty much worn off here. Humidity probably did it. Humidity and time, and there's just, you can't even see what saints there are. So I actually bought a black light just this past week, and I'm planning on spending some time to try to figure out which saints are in here. I know there's about 100. So it's, I think the reds are usually martyrs, and the blue are sometimes doctors of the church. They would always start out here in the center, so it's probably like the sepulchre of the Blessed Mother of Jesus, and It's going to be very interesting once I figure out all these saints. So this is one of them. And this is also interesting. So when they're placing it on the person that is being prayed over, the priest can do this. So you can grab it just like this and place it wherever they're hurting. You know, if he needs to place it on their back or on their arm or on their leg or on their head. It really depends on what the needs are for the person. So this is, there's quite a few relics in here. And I'm not going to obviously be able to go through all of them. And unfortunately, because today was a service, a prayer service, some of my relics are kind of not packed in here right now, to be perfectly honest with you. I need to clean them up. I like to clean them after a prayer service, and I haven't had a chance to do it yet. See, this is another beautiful Arma Christi, like the other one I showed you. This one is in sterling silver. You can see the silver markings right here. This is made by, I believe I traced it back. I may be totally wrong on this, but I believe I traced it back to Belgium silversmiths in the 1800s. And that's another one right there on the side. So I believe that's who I traced it back to. Very beautiful here. Let's see here. Ex clavo. So this is from the nail. Ex hosta. This is from the spear of Longinus. Ex arundine. This is from the reed. Ex lingo, from the true cross. Ex corona. This is from the crown of thorns. Ex fune is from the rope that held Christ. And then the top one there, ex flagellis. Flagellis, this is actually from the whip that whipped Jesus. It's a very powerful one. I've seen some very large reactions in the healing services with this relic in particular. So very beautiful, very, very beautiful. Here's some other ones, and like I said, I need to clean these from today, but this is the one right here that goes with this paperwork. So there's St. Elizabeth, St. Zachariah, the Holy Parents of John the Baptist, St. Anne, St. Joachim, the parents of Virgin Mary, St. Joseph, the spouse of Mary, St. John the Baptist, and then the relics also include the birthplace of Christ and the belt of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Very, very powerful. Let's see here. We got a relic of St. Michael the Archangel. This is from the 1700s, and it's from Mount Gargano. A bone relic of St. Padre Pio. A blood relic of St. Padre Pio, right there. This is from the stigmata in his hand. Another belt relic of the Blessed Virgin Mary. This one's got, let's hear, St. John Birchman. It's got ex singulo BMV, so from the belt of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and then from the cloak of St. Joseph. St. Joseph right there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see here. Who else do I have in here? Oh, there's so many saints. So many saints. St. Mary Magdalene, St. Alphonsus de Liguori, St. Gerard Magella, St. Gertrude the Great, and the martyrs at Gorkum. 19 Catholic priests that were slain for their faith. Now, this actually slides down right here. Okay? And let me see if I can adjust this up a little bit. All right. This is where it gets more exciting. There's some really great relics in here. I mean, there's relics everywhere, but let's see here. Okay, St. Faustina Kowalska, so Divine Mercy. The hair of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. This is a multi-relic of St. John the Baptist, St. Lazarus. This is Lazarus that was resurrected by Christ. Okay, St. Roche, the Holy Innocent, St. Anthony the Abbot, and then an unknown martyr. I do have the paperwork for this one. This one is St. Bernadette of Subiru. So that one, beautiful. This one is extremely powerful. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I could tell you stories about this one. Okay, so ex capillis of Saint Therese of Lisieux. So the hair of Saint Therese of Lisieux. Very, very beautiful. Now look at this one. Okay, this is all in French. So if you know French, you're going to know what this is. But if you don't, here it is. And I realize it's kind of upside down. So this is a rock that was excavated. This is the official paperwork. A rock that was excavated from Lourdes 100 years on the anniversary of when Bernadette dug into the ground and the spring appeared. So this is actually taken from where the spring appeared, excavated 100 years to the day. Very beautiful, very powerful relic. So we like to stick that one back in there. And then on this side, there's a lot of relics in here. Okay. Ooh. Woo-hoo. Check this action out. This is a really powerful one. Oh my goodness. This is Saint Joan of Arc, a second-class relic. This one personally healed me of blindness in my right eye. And that was amazing. Last November, so almost a year ago, or yeah, last Thanksgiving, almost a year ago, I got a healing from this relic. Restored my vision, which was a miracle, and it's very powerful. Very, very powerful, especially in healing sessions. And then up here, there's just a whole number of relics that I need to clean. This one is Mary and Martha. So Saint Mary and Saint Mary Magdalene and Saint Martha. You can see it right here. I have it labeled. So I stick a lot of relics up in there. And this is my relic repertoire. And there are a lot of saints in here. There's a lot of beautiful, beautiful, wonderful saints. Like Saint Charbel, Exosubus. So from the bone. Very beautiful. All right, my friends, we're back here. Back to the normal area. This is, I believe, 12 Franciscan saints. St. Francis of Assisi. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so this video, I don't want it going too long, and I think I've already overdone a little bit here. So we're going to end this video here, but let's pray for the intercession of all these wonderful saints. That if you're needing prayers right now, let's ask them to intercede on your behalf, especially all these beautiful apostles. Holy saints, for all those that are reaching out to you right now, asking you to intercede on their behalf with our Lord, please go to Jesus. Ask Jesus for these beautiful souls, these beautiful people, that to heal their pains and sorrows, to fill them with your divine grace, Lord. Please pour out your precious blood upon them to wash them clean, and help them to understand and know that you are truly God and you truly love them. You love them. So my friends, keep close to the saints. Jesus is Lord, Mary's our mother, and the saints are our friends. May God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.